Hey guys, just posting a quick video this morning. It's going to be fairly unedited just because I wanted to get this one out quickly because of the news that has happened today. So welcome back to the Fire Grind. On this channel we talk about everything and anything that has to do with personal finance and just helping you achieve that FIRE movement, hashtag FIRE30. So let's get right into the video. Hey guys, what a morning we have now. If you look at stocks this morning in the pre-market trading, we can see a lot of them have dropped about 3, 4, 5%. I'm just going to scroll through my watch list on the left here and you can see how the stocks that I'm watching are doing. So there's a lot of fear in the market right now and you're probably wondering what happened. This morning there was an article released by multiple news sites just talking about the Chinese President Xi, just saying that he doesn't have coronavirus under control and that it's breaking out in an uncontrollable manner. And we can see this happening all over the world. There's outbreaks in Italy, there's outbreaks in Iran, as well as South Korea. And this coronavirus has been going on for about a month now. And initially it wasn't as big of a fear because people thought it was just contained within China. However, it's been spreading throughout the world now. And not only just spreading to other places and they're only having 1 or 2 cases, but we're seeing like hundreds and maybe even thousands of cases where people have contracted the virus and there's been hundreds of deaths outside of China. So this has struck fear in the market because as a virus takes place, there's a lot of people who just don't want to go out, economic activity slows down. So this is a bad thing for the market because people don't buy as much. They tend not to spend money and this affects businesses' bottom lines. So this is why the stock market is dropping. In addition, things in China that are affected the most are those who do manufacturing. And we know that manufacturing plants are closed down, which means companies cannot produce products. And this ultimately affects the bottom line. So a lot of these companies are like Apple, Skyworks Solutions, just any like Walmart, dollar stores. They all get their products from China factories. And if these factories are closed down, then the supply chain is choked and they cannot actually stock products in their stores and therefore sales slump. So you're probably wondering what I'm doing with my stocks, seeing this 3, 4, 5% drop in the morning. Do I plan to sell? Do I plan to buy more? Do I plan to hold? And the answer is I plan to hold most of my positions. If there's any positions that are actually affected by coronavirus heavily and maybe the thesis behind that stock has changed because of coronavirus, I would consider selling. But looking at my portfolio right now, I really don't see anything that will be highly impacted or just like very concentrated. The target on that stock is by coronavirus. So I don't plan to sell anything. Rather, I see this as a nice 5% sale. And I think coming the next few weeks, there will be actually a larger sale because this is usually what happens. The stock market will drop hard one day and then continue to drop just smaller amounts the subsequent days. Or if there's any new big news, we could see another 5% drop. So for today, I don't think I plan to buy anything. However, I think I'll wait for the market to settle out in a week or two, and usually it will start consolidating at a certain level for a couple weeks, and then at that point I think that's when I'll start making entries into more stocks. Maybe I'll buy a couple shares here and there just to catch a dip in case there's just a huge bounce back, but nothing more than a few shares of maybe Canada Goose right now. If you're a beginner investor and maybe you're scared of what's happening in the stock market, here's my 2 cents on this and what I've been through in the market. I believe you should continue to hold, but this is also a lesson to keep cash on the side for events like this. Events where you see 5–10% drops in the stock market. This is where you start boosting your favorite positions. Companies that you really believe in for the long term that will succeed. These might be companies like Amazon or Facebook. You think that their business ultimately in the long run won't be affected by coronavirus much. It's just the short-term profits. However, you should buy those businesses that you believe in. As I always mentioned, you have to have a long-term vision for them. Otherwise, if you're just in there to trade, that is not what I'll be talking about, and I don't have much experience in that, so I wouldn't recommend that at all. Another question you might be asking is, will a recession happen because of this coronavirus fear? I can't say so for sure, but I believe that my personal conviction is that it won't, because interest rates are so low right now. Also, coronavirus is, I think, a temporary event. I don't think it'll last more than a couple months from here until we see some sort of ability to contain the virus. And the reason why I believe that is just because of what happened with SARS back in 2003. We are a lot more medically advanced right now, and I think there's a lot of companies that are working on a cure for coronavirus, and there's a lot of funding going into finding a cure for it. So I believe that we will be able to find a cure. Also, I think that there's a lot of elderly and young kids being affected by this predominantly, where it's leading to deaths. Rather, those who are young and healthy, there's a higher chance for them to fight it off. So I think the fears are actually a little blown out of proportion in my opinion. However, I think that's also something up for you to decide, whether you believe that this will have a longer lasting effect than a few months. So I think that we might see a lot of the Q1 profits drop. However, I believe that once the virus is cured or under control, market activity will continue as usual. So I don't think that there will be a recession from this, unless there's also other events that have built up. So stay tuned for more information on this, and hopefully we'll talk about this more in the future videos. Keep up the grind and have a great day.